Alright, today I'm going to carve a walking stick. I am by no means professional. I just do it for fun. I don't sell them. I've given quite a few away. I still have some, and I'm going to show you some of those. Here's my carving set. It's nothing fancy. It's like a beginner set. I think, buy this pointy one, which I use a lot, but I probably use this one the most. So that's my two big ones to go to. When I do beards, this V-shaped one's pretty good. And then this curved one here is really good too for doing beards and hair and things like that. And there's a really thin one. The rest are for bigger projects, like bigger, maybe something you'd use to hammer, like a log or something that's like these, which I don't use very often at all. That's a set to get you a good set of tools, because you're not going to want a cheap set. You might get yourself hurt, you may break the tips off. Good sets will run you a pretty good price, but they're worth it because they stay sharp a lot longer. Alright, I'm going to show you a couple different types of carvings I've done, and some I didn't even carve. So like this is very smooth. I even put a rubber tip on that, but it's this is oak, and I didn't carve any face into this at all. The next one I'll show you is this little one here. You can see that I carved it for my daughter Tate. I don't know if you can make that out, but I carved Tate in there, but it's got a pretty cool. It's turned out pretty good, but it's very little. It's when she was little. When I first started, I didn't know what wood to use, so I used like any wood I could find. And like this is a heavy wood. It's got a big crack down it because I used the wrong kind of wood. The face was hard to carve because the wood was so hard. But you can see it does not have a lot of detail. But that's an old one. This is also a heavy one. It's pretty solid. I mean, this won't break. But you can see the detail, and that is not that great. So after doing some research, I realized that I should be using American basswood as one of my choices, and actually found a couple trees, and I looked for sticks that are on the ground. And so this one is kind of a different one. I carved it and left some bark, and you can see on this one I coated it to keep it safe, but I was having a little trouble with the eyes, so I like drilled big holes in them, and then I gave them teeth, which is kind of creepy looking anyway. But I'm afraid to use this one for a walking stick because there's not much space here, and it'll snap. That happened to another one of my walking sticks. It was really nice, but it just snapped off when I was walking over time. I'm not sure what kind of wood this is, but it is amazing. Look at that. Look at the spots on that thing. This is a big piece of wood. I left the top at an angle, so I kind of like the shape of that too. I even drilled a hole and put a little fancy beaded leather piece through it. But I think the face turned out pretty good on this one. It's got a lot of definition. I went with the straight beard, straight down. Straight eyebrows, straight mustache. It's different, but it's okay. I like this one. Now this is one of the last ones I made. It's fairly thin, but the face turned out pretty good. I'm happy with it. Got kind of a big lower lip. I don't know if he's pouting about something or what. I put this. I carved out a little space for the rope to hold on to, and also at the bottom I put this. Now you're probably thinking, what in the world would you want that for? Well, it's actually my stepson he likes to go herping, which is looking for snakes and reptiles, and I go with him a lot, and this is what I use. So I use this a lot as a walking stick. It helps to get up hills and so forth, but also I use this for flipping rocks to look underneath of it so I don't keep bending over. Now it won't lift really big rocks, but it'll lift medium-sized to little rocks, and I can look under it and let the rock back down if there's nothing under it, snakes or turtles or frogs or so forth. But if you want to check out his channel, it's on YouTube, and it's the Flippin' Herper. So now this one I carved not too long ago, and I haven't even put polyurethane on this or anything. But this one I put a handle where I can grip my hand. So you got to get to where you think it's a good place for your hand, and that's where you carve it out the bark if you like that. But the face turned out pretty good. I'm happy with it. You can see it from an angle here. Turned out pretty good. He's trying to work on those eyes. They're the toughest thing, but they are the windows to the soul. But this guy looks a little sleepy. All right, so here's 3 sticks. This one, I've carved the bark off of it. It's ready to go, but it's pretty thin, and it's got a good bow to it. I don't know how strong that's going to be. This one's a pretty nice one. It's got some character to it, got a bend in it. It's a relatively long piece of wood, and it's pretty good. It leaves me a lot of room at the top here to carve. This one I can't wait to do something special with. Look at this monster. This thing is huge. I want to save this for something cool, because I think that's a lot of wood to carve. I could do something cool with that, so I'm going to hold on to this one.